We're here for episode 4 of the F123 driver career, as you can see on your screen. Starting this episode off with a department event. It is choosing a rival. We're going to end up choosing Oscar Piastri, as he's also a rookie. He feels like the more realistic choice out of the three. And look at how much upgrades we have coming for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Quite a few there. So yeah, hopefully everything goes on the car, which it looks like it will. And the other one is just reliability. So yeah, good start. I'm going to put some more upgrades on the car now as we get a bit of R&D points. So putting on some weight redistribution upgrades for the chassis should come for the Miami Grand Prix. And this time it's going to be weight reduction, it looks like. So we got another event here, a powertrain event. So powertrain department freed up some extra resources. So yeah, we're going to agree to that, as we'll take the discount there. So yeah, hopefully have another good race. Oh yeah, that's right. We are going to be using the Red Bull Max Verstappen Miami helmet, just because I feel like it's just a better looking helmet than every other helmet on this game, and also looks a bit more realistic with the sponsors and stuff on it. So yeah, let's get into the Azerbaijan Grand Prix weekend. Of course, this is a sprint weekend here in Baku. So we're starting off with quali, and we've got a sprint race to decide the starting order for the main race on the Sunday. So not a very good start to our qualifying here. Hit the wall going through turn 1, and then got held up by Russell. And yeah, that kind of screwed up our lap a little bit. It was a pretty scruffy first lap. Just getting used to the new setup that I found and getting used to the track. I have noticed that I'm not as good at Baku as previous games. So in terms of league racing, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how we go compared to everyone else. But yeah, moving forward now, just have to get up into the castle section. They have widened it a bit. I'm pretty sure the left-hand wall doesn't stick out as much, but you can see there, I just understeer out to the right-hand side, nearly clip the wall, which it's easy to do, as one Charles Leclerc would know. So yeah, now it's pretty much just a straight run to the line. A couple more corners down here. This downhill corner is very hard to get the braking right for. You brake. I tend to brake a little bit earlier than the racing line, just so you can just make sure you don't hit the wall on the outside there and ruin your lap. So yeah, it's pretty much a straight run to the line, as about to open up the DRS to finish our first lap in quali. Let's have a look. Let's see where it's going to put us. We do a 1:43.595. That's going to put us P8, just out of our teammate Albon, and eventually we would get shoved down to P16. So we are going to go again here with some fresh tyres and no traffic this time, and a better turn 1. And you can see they've already gained half a second, so we are looking good, and it does look like we are going to get through to Q2 at this point in time. Our teammate Alex Albon in P15 at the moment. Is he going to make it through? Hopefully. So yeah, hopefully we can carry on from the last race weekend in Australia. Had a very solid race there and got some decent points for the team. So both of us scoring points, which is good to see. Usually in F1 games, the player tends to always smash the teammate. Which I'd say we are carrying the team here still, but it's good to see Albon, gradually getting better as we are as well. So we're up here by nearly a second. It's been a pretty decent lap so far. Definitely better than our first lap. Again, getting that downhill corner right. Still broke maybe a little bit early for that. We lost a couple of tenths as a result of that, as looks like we are 2 tenths up on our teammate. Are we going to be the one to knock him out of Q P1? That's the question. We're nearly up by about 8/10 nearly. We better open the DRS here, get a bit of a tow from the cars ahead, heading into the lane, and we are going to come across the line. And do we make it through? Yes, we're P8. Solid. A solid quality there. We end up P8. So let's have a look there. You see us P8. Verstappen tops the timesheets here in Q1. Any surprise knockouts? Piastri just scraping in there. Oh, Albon didn't make it through. P16 for him. Only by a couple hundredths. So that's unfortunate. So De Vries, Tsunoda, Bottas, Zhou Guanyu and Alex Albon knocked out of Q1 here as we start Q2. Second Q2 of the season following up from Australia. So we're looking like the car is at least getting better and we are improving ourselves. So this time, no traffic or hitting the wall on our first run, which definitely helped, as we found out on our previous lap there to end Q1. So yeah, like I was saying before, I have noticed that I'm not as good at Baku on this game. So yeah, we have a big moment there. Wow, that's going to cost us a bit of time, surely. And this corner as well, I could never get right. You always go very deep. So I might need to brake a bit earlier there. And again, nearly clipping the outside wall as Alonso sets the fastest lap. And yeah, pretty much only 2 real corners left until we get to run to the line. Again, maybe braking a little bit earlier there. Could attack that corner a little bit more, but I'm sure as we get further into this session, hopefully we'll be attacking that pretty much full speed, trying to gain as much time as possible to possibly make it into Q3. That would be amazing. Imagine a Williams making it into Q3. May as well call me Alex Albon. He's carrying Williams in real life at the moment, obviously. Sargent, he's a rookie, so it's going to take a bit of time to get used to it, but hopefully with some upgrades, he can pick up the pace a bit, as that is going to put us P9. A 10th behind Oscar Piastri, our rival. So we will be aiming to beat him in this session here as we start our second and final lap in Q2. So we got a pretty decent run through turn 1. What about turn 2? Not too bad. We're going to gain about nearly 2.5 tenths. 2.25 tenths pretty much. And look at that, Piastri just ahead of us. We need to try and out-qualify him. So, judging by the Delta at the moment, up by about 5 tenths. If we can keep up this pace, we're going to gain heaps of time here as well, because we had that massive moment on the first lap. Look at that. Another 5 tenths. Over a second gain. Boys, I reckon we're a fancy chance here to get into Q3. So that'll be pretty good. Our first time making it into Q3 as we nearly clipped the outside wall again, sorry. As, yeah, the Delta just keeps going up. You love to see it. Love to see it. As now, this corner is pretty vital. We really need to attack this. And it's not too bad. Still could have gone through there way quicker. But I'm sure if we make it into Q3 by the end of that session, we'll be going pretty much throwing caution into the wind. And yeah, right on the edge. So we're nearly up by 2 seconds. Look at that Delta. Nearly up by 2 seconds. This is going to be a good lap, guys. I wonder where it's going to put us. It's a 142.2 it looked like. It's going to put us P4. Boys, we are in to Q3. That is a great qualifying. That is great. A 142.2. See, Fernando Alonso here has a 10 place grid penalty. He's had 2 penalties there, and I looked at this, I'm like, what? So if you look at that, we're only a 10th off Max Verstappen. Quicker than Sainz and the Mercedes and the Alpines there. So let's have a look here. Illegal blocking twice for Alonso there, and that is going to see him start the sprint from the back of the grid. Not good news for him. He definitely be looking to make a big charge in this sprint as we now head into Q3. There's not much point of Alonso really qualifying, really, because he's got that 10 place grid penalty. So he's pretty much, I doubt he will make, the top 3. So he's pretty much towards the rear of the field as we get our first run in Q3 started here. Solid so far, not too bad. It's all about getting used to the track. The setup I'm using as well. Gotta say, didn't feel too confident in Q1. Just felt a little bit heavy around some of the corners. But yeah, we got used to it throughout this quali session as we're out here on worn tyres, old tyres, I will add. So if we are like a second, that was a better way of taking that corner as we go a little bit wide on the exit there. But yeah, that's kind of a better way of taking the castle section. Getting way closer to the left hand side there. So yeah, hopefully we can try and keep doing that for the rest of this session. But yeah, like I was saying, the setup and the car didn't feel great. I will be honest, did not feel great at all. Felt quite crap actually. But yeah, we just, found a way to improve, and yeah, from that first quality session, the car just felt great after that. So good, promising signs, getting used to the car, the circuit. So yeah, looking promising for the sprint and the race. But we're going to finish our first lap in Q3 here, and we stay at P10 as now starting our second and final run here on the fresh tyres. Let's have a look, lads. Let's see where we're going to qualify for the sprint at Baku. So not a bad turn 2 there. Drifted a little bit wide. The car as well sometimes felt like it would just not stop drifting wide. So yeah, it did feel a bit weird in the steering wheel for some of the corners. But as we see Perez, I'm pretty sure that said go fastest as we nearly clipped that wall, and Verstappen takes it right back off him. So it looks like Verstappen is going to have pole for the Baku sprint here. So we nearly touched the wall there. Oh, a little bit of a moment there. You don't really want to be touching them curbs, as the car would just get unsettled like it happened in our Q2, our first run in Q2. So yeah, they have removed the curb on the exit there, which is very nice. A lot more smooth, and you probably lose way less time than going over the curb. So the Delta is very positive, as you can see. Could have probably attacked that corner a little bit more throughout the whole of qualifying. But we want to make sure we get the car in one piece and hopefully get it over the line in a good position that is higher than P10 here, as the Delta suggesting we are about 9, nearly 8.5 tenths up on our previous lap. So as we open the DRS, run to the line, it's going to put us in P7. Best of the rest. That is a solid quali. I'll take that. Here you can see, here's your starting, or your top 10 for the Baku sprint. We've got Verstappen on pole, followed by Perez, Leclerc, Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, myself, Ocon, Alonso, and Gasly. So Alonso going to be starting P19 for the sprint.
Not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, O'Reilly, Ocon, Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Norris, Magnussen, Stroll, Oscar Piastri, Hulkenberg, Albon, Joe, Bottas, Tsunoda, and Nick de Vries. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint.
Alright lads, we're in the cockpit here. This is pretty much just straightforward, no pit stops, no nothing. I was debating going on soft, but it was slower on the delta, so we'll just stick with the mediums.
Ahead of today's sprint. As all the cars take their positions on the grid, the final preparations have been made, and all that's left is for the drivers to deliver on track.
And it's lights out and away we go. Get a pretty delayed reaction there from myself, letting go of the clutch somehow. Oh my days, holy crap, it is like bloody bumper cars out there at turn 1 with the Mercedes. So I was just saying, didn't get the greatest reaction time there on the start, but we had a pretty decent start compared to the cars ahead, and I'm pretty sure it was Russell that we slammed into the back of. Somehow got no damage. I do run sim damage as we clip the wall there, so it hasn't been a great start for us in this sprint. But yeah, look, we've held position, P7, so that's always good. We are in the points for the sprint. Obviously points only go from P1 to P8, so we'll at least be looking to hold on to P8 throughout these 9 laps as we head into the castle section for the first time in semi-race conditions. I'd say it's still a race technically, but the fuel's not that high, so the car should feel only a little bit different from quali, but just trying to kind of stay in the DRS of Russell, and when it does become available, see, that wasn't too bad of an attack on that corner. Kind of went over the curb a little bit and kind of nearly hit the wall, but it wasn't too bad. Probably lost us a little bit of time, but yeah, look, as far as trying to catch up to the Mercedes goes, I do not think we have any chance to overtake them. They're just way too quick for us, but we can try and stay within that second and get the DRS and get dragged along, hopefully away from Ocon and Alonso, as it looks like Ocon is going to waste no time at the start of turn 2 here. It's going to go up the inside, and we're going to hold it around the outside. We're going to go side by side into turn 2. So we let him have the room. For some reason we ghost. I'm not sure why. But yeah, ended up ghosting through him. And he gets the position as we use a bit of the overtake. We've legit used half of it in about 2 laps. Which isn't great, so we need to do a bit of saving, especially for the long straight here. So yeah, we get back past Ocon, and it's pretty much the story of the race. Oh, as you can see there, the ICE and the gearbox in a bit of trouble. Oh, I did forget to change it. So yeah, that's my mistake. In hindsight, I probably should have just sacrificed quali and, you know, put a new fresh engine in the car for the sprint and the race, but I wasn't thinking, so obviously I didn't do it. But anyway, have a little bit of a power deficit compared to cars around us. But we'll still obviously try our best and have a crack as we get past Ocon again. That was pretty much the story of the race. Just defending from Ocon and Alonso down the straight, and for the first at least like 3 corners, as we try and do the switch back here on Ocon. But he's going to keep the position. We just force our way around the outside. Good racing there. We enable the DRS. We're going to use a bit of overtake to help us get past. And yeah, we have drained that battery. So it's going to be tough to defend from here for the next 6 laps. As we have a little bit of contact there with Ocon and his former teammate Fernando Alonso trying to get in on the action here. As Russell has pretty much checked out. He's nearly 5 seconds up the road from us, so that's pretty much out of it. It's just doing as much as we can to hold on to this P7 or at least P8. Ideally, we'd want at least a point from this sprint as we go a little bit wide into turn 2 there, nearly hit the wall, and yeah, we've got about a 6-tenth gap, but that will be narrowing very quickly as obviously the straights are, you know, it's just if you're the car in front, you may as well just give up position as Ocon goes by. We tried to kind of keep it with him there, but unfortunately we had a little bit of a moment and lost a bit of time. So he is already a second ahead. That's how slow we are at the moment. Alonso did try and overtake us up the inside of turn 2, but we did end up holding the position as we go a little bit deep there. And yeah, Alonso having a bit of a moment of his own. Lance Stroll also joining in on the party here for this battle for P8. And Alonso has done pretty well considering that 10th place penalty. So here we go, Stroll now getting past us. We're going to dive one right back up the inside, show a bit of aggression. It might be the helmet giving off some Max Verstappen vibes, as we're already on lap 8. This race has flown by, and now we are onto the start of lap 9 with Stroll again trying to go up the inside of turn 1. This time he makes it work a bit. We kind of get caught on his rear wheel a little bit there with our front wing, and it looks like, oh my god, we've pretty much pushed him through the corner and nearly spun, and we've lost about half a second there, and that allows Alonso to just sneak back through as we're going to try and hold it in there as we do. And yeah, look, unless we stay with Stroll until the straights, I can't see us getting back past. So it's very disappointing this late on to lose that points paying position, as Alonso will now be pressuring us. Verstappen comes across the line to win the sprint at Baku, and as you can see, Lance Stroll within about half a lap already 2 seconds up the road. So it is going to be P9 here for us. Norris P11, Alonso P10, Stroll getting that position ahead of us, P8. So that's pretty disappointing to lose it that late on, but P9, definitely, you know, I mean, it's nothing great, but it's definitely improvement on our qualifying from the start of the year. So as you can see there, I dropped down from P7 to P9. So yeah, pretty much the top 6 unchanged. Albon doing a good job getting up to P15. Lance Stroll going from Alonso started 9th. Oh, okay, I feel stupid now. After the sprint, we had some R&D points from practice. We're just going to put that on the car. So an aero upgrade there. And yeah, let's get into the race.
Many are expecting a safety car here today, so our drivers will have to stay very much on their toes and hopefully out of the barriers. Baku City Circuit then. It's an unpredictable 3.7-mile track around the streets of the Azerbaijan capital. 20 turns for our drivers to navigate today, including the infamous Turn 8, one of the tightest and most challenging corners of the season. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Sainz, Hamilton, Ocon, Stroll, O'Reilly, Norris, Russell, Gasly, Hulkenberg, Magnussen, Oscar Piastri, Joe, Bottas, De Vries, Fernando Alonso, Albon, and Yuki Tsunoda. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Why don't we kick off by discussing Max Verstappen? There's a new gearbox in the back of that car, which means a grid penalty, and hopefully some excitement as they make their way through the field.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today.
Here we are on the grid for the race. This is the strap, boys. We're going to be going 12 laps on the mediums, 14 on the hards. So, yeah. Hopefully we can have a good race. Try and get some more points on the board. And, yeah, keep the momentum going from the last one in Australia.
To settle in for the race ahead, making sure that their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out. So as all the cars reform the grids, the drivers will be hoping to get a strong start. They'll want to earn some valuable points from today's race, with final communications being done with their race engineers, ensuring the planned strategies are all in place.
And it's lights out, and away we go here in Baku for the main race here. As we get not a bad start, up the inside of Ocon. Stroll and Hamilton just ahead as Ocon is going to stay with us. We're going to try and force a little one past Hamilton, make a bit of contact, enable the overtake, but he is going to stay ahead in that Mercedes. Now again, I forgot about the engine, so we will have a lot less. Oh my god, absolutely sending one on Hamilton. Going a little bit deep. I'm not sure he'll be happy with that, but like I was saying, we will have a huge engine power deficit, which is pretty important for a circuit like Baku with all the long straights. So, yeah, it's going to be a pretty painful one this afternoon here in Baku as we come down towards the castle section for the first time. Let's have a look, see how we go through. Oh, we clipped the inside, and we've done a Leclerc, boys. Oh no, we've done a Leclerc, clipped the inside wall, pushed us out to the outside wall, and that is us out of the race. And as you can see on your screen now, the finishing order: Alex Albon doing GOAT things and literally dragging the car from P19 to P10. So props to Albon. Verstappen winning this one. Alonso having a great drive on the 2-stop there from P18 up to P7, going that fastest lap. As you can see, myself, Norris and Gasly, the non-finishers, didn't even set a lap. Wow. Did not even set a lap time. So that's great. Crashing out the first lap. Love to see it. Our first crash. Well, hopefully old mate James Vowers isn't too mad at us. But yeah, I mean, look, we had a great quali, a great weekend up until then. Yeah, you can see there I'm still P10. Verstappen now takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship from Carlos Sainz. And yeah, Leclerc there in P3, Perez in P4, and then Hamilton tied with Perez there in P6. Now, if we want to flick over to the constructor standings, you can see us there still in P7, about 11 points behind McLaren. So, I mean, this might be the position for us for the rest of the year. P7. Not quite quick enough to challenge McLaren, although we can be. So, let's be optimistic and let's try and challenge McLaren and Alpine for that P5 spot in the constructors. So, yeah. Hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.